Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to a game of Endless Legend that is not at all in the state that I would have imagined a few episodes ago. Things got a little bit away from the strategy we intended, but listen, diplomacy has still been the cornerstone of our game. If we were not best friends, absolute blood brothers with Blue, we definitely would have been consumed by now, right? Like, they absolutely would have turned that huge army against our tiny but still very powerful and as such very tempting city here. Well, tiny empire. It's a big city, but it's a tiny empire. So yeah, the fact that Blue loves us with the strength of all of their weird little vampire robot hearts is the only reason that we are even here, maybe potentially approaching an end to this game. So for our faction quest, we're waiting on this assimilation to complete. And once that happens, we'll probably be asked to build a thing in our main city, which we should be able to do. We're quite good at building a thing. And maybe a wonder victory is on the table after all. I'm actually really curious where our total science output is going to be after we build these two big science buildings, though. It's not totally infeasible that we could try a tech push. I don't know. We'll see. This is a little late to be starting it, probably. And we know that at least a couple of the other players are producing enough dust that they are potentially going to win a dust victory at some point. Although, I don't know that we care, because they are both our allies. We're involved in a friendly race now. It's no longer a race where the consequence is losing. It's just winning, but like somewhat less so. All right, I guess we knew this was coming. This winter was a long time coming. The Morgar finished a victory tech. The Draken have hit the 30% of the way toward the other thing margin, the dust victory margin. We are being attacked somewhere, and we'll totally check that out presently. Yep, I mean, it's green. It's no big surprise. So, I mean, we're just going to retreat here. We knew this was probably going to happen. But I'm buying time. I'm buying time for Blue to do the thing. So is Blue... Yeah, Blue is at war with Green. I said that, and then I was like, oh, wait a second. Am I sure that war is actually happening? Yes, my memory. I do not trust it, even a tiny little bit. Yeah, and Brown is at war with them, too. So yeah, at this point, the game is very much divided into... Well, I was going to say two teams. Lilac and Green against the rest of us. But really, it's just Green against the rest of us, because Lilac's pretty much out of the game already. Yeah, we're just going to... I mean, we know what's happening here. We're going to retreat, and then I'm probably just going to have this army fall back. I think we are too far forward. The situation changed in ways that surprised me a little bit with the offer to declare war on Green. I mean, I know that I did that. The Tome of Endless Savagery. Okay, gives heroes Guardian Slayer. That's neat. I know that I did that and everything, but still I feel like in some weird way it was thrust upon me. So this is volcanic territory. I definitely don't want to be standing there. We gotta back up into friendly territory where I can heal, and then we'll support Blue's push a little bit after that. Is that ruin unsearched? No, okay, we have hit that one. Here, let's group up with our group up with our friend here. All right, where's the next ruin? Down here. You go do that. Do not take any of those pearls. The last thing we need to do now is cause a diplomatic incident. I can probably take my own pearls, though. Let's go get these, and... So right now, we just finished Living Lab Tools. We're not all the way scienced up. We're still going to get a lot out of the Climatology Guild, but 4843. Huh, I was expecting that to be a higher number. Oh, you know what? We got plus 100% science on our city from the Living Lab Tools, but you got to remember that's plus 100% on the flat value. A bunch of what we're seeing here is already affected by other percentage modifiers, like our Empire Plan and the Dust Orchid and whatnot. So yeah, that's why that number didn't jump quite as much as I was expecting. So if we were to try to do one of these, we're looking at 21 turns. We can probably get that down, though, right? Like, the Moonleaf, we're not even running Moonleaf right now. We're also not at maximum science boost from Empire approval, which will get fixed when that other city finishes integrating. So, yeah, what we need is approximately 18 Moonleaf. That would help a lot. And hey, what do you know? All right, that took 2 whole turns off of that technology. Yeah, maybe that's not a thing that's going to happen. It's fine. You know, we don't actually need the technology, almost certainly. So we're working on that. What was the cost of that building? The Kernel of Plentitude, which I'm sure we're going to have to... Okay, it's made of Palladian, which we will have plenty of when the time comes. So we can afford to spend Adamantium doing another thing. The National Craftworks would probably be a really smart thing to build at this point. Was there Adamantium on the market? Oh, there is, just a tiny little bit, but we can start there and then maybe skim some off of Blue. Hey, Blue, my good friend Blue. Wow, that's a lot of Adamantium, friend. I have technologies. Would you like them? I'll take these 2, if you don't mind. Just make sure that we're going to be able to stay bathed in that. That's enough to run Advanced Quarry, too. Love that. We don't get mining rights, but also I don't really care. Continuing to level up districts is good, so if we put this down right here, it levels itself to 2 immediately. Yeah. Alright, just stay industry focused until we are done building all of the things that will give us boosts. So minus 50% XP on heroes and cities, plus 50% on heroes and armies is this winter effect. Doesn't really matter too much to us. I guess, you know what? You know what would actually be valuable is Marvelous Armor. Because we can get a trinket from this that will allow us to increase the amount of industry per citizen. Yeah, that's a thing we should definitely research before we do the other thing that we'll probably not even finish. But that aside, I think we now have all of the strategic resource technologies. So Blue's got armies coming up. I sure hope that Blue can actually beat Green. Blue's army seems huge and terrifying, and alone I think Blue and Green might be a fight that would tack in Green's favor, or Blue's favor. But then on top of it, you know, Brown is coming in from this side. I'm sure our side will win this war. Hopefully without me having to lose Laris for it to happen. So 1 turn left on Kared. Utanla has some hostiles. Maybe we want to run up here. Is this region? This region's also volcanic, though, isn't it? Oh, no, this one's like a desert. Yeah, let's move into a defensive position around our desert here. How much did we heal for? A considerable amount. We're very good at healing. And Green's not really moving on Laris very much. So I still want to stay on this side of the border, but let's get close. Because again, volcanic terrain, not so good for us. Ululani Rawi is still leveling up despite getting reduced XP. So I guess at this point I am going to take Face Reader. There's no reason not to, I suppose. A quest was failed because somebody finally killed the sea monster. The black spot was put on Lilac, which doesn't really seem necessary. Not complaining, just seems weird. Yeah, you know what? I will buy out the progress on that. Let's get all that stuff done simultaneously. Oh, we're being sieged. Well, I mean, if we lose Laris, it's not the end of the world, but obviously it wouldn't be great. Here, we can stay in friendly territory, but get close enough to serve as reinforcements if Laris gets attacked. You can be in the volcanic spot. You're not actually in danger. I mean, if we lose the city, we lose the city. I'm not actually that concerned about it. And here comes Blue. Brown's right there. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I assume we've lost all those yields, which is a shame. So, like I said, we can now, with this technology, equip a trinket that will... Where are you? I think it's this one? Nope, those are the defense boosters. Is it these? City Breaker, Retaliation, Improved Attack. Where in the heck is the one that... Here we go. So this is plus food. That one's plus industry. Obviously, we care a great deal about that. Unfortunately, I've run out of adamantium again. You go through the stuff pretty quickly at this point in the game. How much have you mined in the last turn? Wow. A considerable amount, it turns out. Here, I will just give you 2,000 dust. How about that? That's pretty far above market rate. Alright, so Ululani Rawi can just lose, what, the drum? I guess? Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. 18 industry per citizen working on industry now. Seems fine to me, and we're still giving birth to new citizens at an incredible rate. Alright, hold on. We'll come back to you. You just go ahead and scoop up these pearls. Oh, there's a ruin I missed down here. Didn't even realize. Yep, you can go ahead and move to that. So do I want to commit myself to the defense of Laris? What are we actually looking at here? 1,200 health Harmonites with 203 defense. We would never defeat these people. How do they have so much HP? That's wild. This army has 9,000 health. Yep, you have army health boost 3, and then they all probably have personal trinkets and stuff. Improved life 3. Yeah, just high base health units with a lot of levels on them. They're mostly level 10. Okay, I guess it happens. So under no circumstances could we actually kill them in a battle. We might be able to prevent them from killing us. But I don't know that it's worth moving up here, is basically what I'm saying. I think we just... Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll just wait over here. You do what you gotta do. Whatever you feel is necessary. If we lose that city, I will be mildly sad, at most. Brown is sieging up here, although it looks like probably locally outnumbered. It's got some big armies coming in. Sadly, I cannot currently scroll the camera right now. I swear to you I am trying. Just, you know, there's a lot going on. So Endless Alloys is down to 15 turns. That's progress. Because we got our assimilation finished here. Hopefully, the only thing in the last phase of our faction quest will be building that building. What's happening here? Forced truce. Ha. Okay, that's a Draken thing. They can spend extra influence to force an improvement in diplomatic relationship, much like you can usually force a downgrade. We'll see about that. The Morgar got a city to 800 fortification. Terrifying. We did, in fact, do this. We have the city. I feel our tendrils reaching through its foundations, snaking its halls, and climbing its highest towers. Under the mycelial skin that swathes everything, time and entropy are much weakened foes. We preserve. Already, we have found a most valuable artifact, and perhaps, if we are lucky, within the ensnared city, we will find another voice. The endless winter comes, creating an icy tomb out of an entire world. Snows will lie 100 hands deep. Oceans will freeze. Life will cease. Well, if we are fortunate, not all life. Some species seek refuge from time. Others grasp for the cold reaches of space. For ourselves, the Mycera, we will withdraw into the heart of the planet, where molten fires battle against the encroaching ice. We sing rich remembrances, vivid memories of biological horrors in endless laboratories, their descendants eking out a life in irradiated wastelands. Later, a slaughter of one Aurigan tribe by another in a subterranean citadel. Our melodic discourse speculates on science and philosophy, truth and justice, crime and punishment, but our first instinct is always to preserve. Whatever comes of Auriga, we will abide, ready to share its story. Of the Urkins, we know not how they will survive the winter. Likely, they will return to the depths as they have always done. Maybe the heat of the core will be enough to keep them alive. And if, in one distant day, decades or centuries or millennia hence, it doesn't matter, they emerge into an Aurigan spring, the Mycera will be ready. Soon, the winter will be unending. We must make our first city an engine of our survival, as we prepare to retreat deep into the sanctuary and warmth of the mantle. So yes, plant the kernel of plenitude in your main city. Is this, in fact, the only step? It is not. Let's hope the other step is easy. So we have a great deal of productivity. We are definitely going to get this done. How expensive is it? 536 industry. Okay, so we'll have a tiny bit of rollover afterward. We shall see what to make of that. We have a truce with green. Nothing for it, I suppose. I'm going to go grab my own pearls. So we got a pretty huge payout out of going to war with them, and then they spent resources to make us not be at war. I feel like we won that very thoroughly. I'm going to grab my own pearls here, because we could still use some pearl tech and pearl districts. We have not done a good job of setting those things up. This will be, yep. The Mazzari will live on only in Tales, it turns out. We'll talk about this later. The spices have run out. That's right. We have no native spice income. Can we buy enough spices to rerun? We cannot. All right, I'm not going to worry about it. It's nice, but not necessary. Managed to get ourselves a little metropolis here. Nope, get on the... There we go. Nothing. Nothing is what I get. Alright, so you're working on that, and I guess... You know, the other players have big, complicated turns right now. Our stuff is pretty straightforward. It's mostly a lot of reading. So it looks like green has repelled brown's initial push and is, in fact, making a counter push of their own. But brown has a lot of units in the area. Has green forced peace with anybody else? No, just me. Interesting. I wonder why they didn't try to get out of the war against blue. Why was I the place that they thought it was reasonable to spend those resources? Well, we might be able to bargain something interesting out of our friends by offering to declare war again. So that's potentially the case. We would need 25 spices to rerun. Do I have anything else that you want? Because I don't really want to do this. You want any of my techs? No? I kind of like the security of not being at war. We might lose a point of population or two. Like, we're close enough to the end of the game that food is becoming less relevant. Not because it's any less good at producing people, but because we have less time to benefit from the people that it does produce. I think we're just going to go ahead and pass. We don't need it. Alright, so we've got this. Hopefully whatever the last final step of our faction quest is, it's easy. But it's going to be like, eliminate another player. I should have ended the turn over the border between green and brown. This is where all the action's going to occur. Although the, action might be a strong word, because obviously there's going to be a lot of hitching and waiting and stuff. The Broken Lords have also gotten to 1 victory tech. Produce 100 food, industry, dust, and science in your main city to earn iron veins. Ooh, wow. And also the ability to build the temple. And it turns out we immediately succeeded. Our preparations for the endless winter are almost complete. The heart of our empire has never been stronger, our thirsting tendrils never more proficient, and our voices never louder. One day we will emerge from this icy crypt and tell the stories of Mycera and Urkin, and all of Auriga's other races. See, ultimately, we're the good guys in this story. So, resources. We do not actually have the high-tech resources to begin the construction of the Temple of the Earth's Core. But we could probably get there. So that's another level 2 district that we could just put down. We are producing more than a citizen worth of food every single turn still, even with nobody on food. Let us, first of all, I guess, go to the market. There is a mithrite. I will purchase it. Then let us go to our neighbors. I am willing to declare war on green in exchange for... Wow. In exchange for your resources, friend. I suspect we are not going to be able to get everything that we want here. So I would need 29 mithrite in order to be able to start construction this turn. Oh. Actually, they'll totally give that to us. They have no problem with that. God, it's nice to have an ally. Somebody who's just like all the way on your side. Okay, 8 turns on that. So it's going to throw up victory notification when we begin the construction at the beginning of next turn. Blue is blood brothers with us. It's extremely hard to see them turning on me about it. You're still feeling kind of sketchy about our position, but blue completely surrounds my main city. It would not be trivial for brown to actually do anything to us. They'd have to come in over the sea region. Ooh, also, we have an opportunity here I didn't realize to maybe be able to steal a fortress. The palliative prow. Okay, auto healing for your boats, and honestly, pretty good base stats. That's a neat thing. Probably a little bit too late to find it now. If I don't do the burrow streets, does it... Okay, no, it doesn't even remove a turn. Alright, a mere 10,000 science per turn coming out of this city at this point. Yeah, it's just the cost per research has gotten very, very high. It actually went up a little bit because the Temple of the Earth's Core is a technology. I don't have any idea what I want from you. So go over here and hang out near the Urkin. I'm actually gonna have the Urkin be more of a reinforcement position kind of critter. And yeah, I guess you guys just live here now. I don't think Brown's gonna turn on us. I think Brown's got their hands full, and they're allied with us. I don't know if the AI actually considers, like, hey, I'm allied with that player, so I'm fine with them winning. I don't know if that goes through their head. But it should. I mean, if it did, if any player you were allied with was fine with you winning the game, it would probably make the AI a little too manipulable. So maybe it shouldn't work that way, but... So for the moment, there's not a lot else for us to do. Make sure the Titan Bones don't run out. Make sure that you're always running Dust Orchid as well, because that's obviously also producing industry. But aside from that, I think we are kind of just sitting here and pressing the button. If we have the ability to... I mean, okay. We should swap assimilation to the Haunts, I guess. That's a thing that should happen. It's true. I have started building the Temple of the Earth's Core. Can't argue with that. The Draken are on 3 scientific. Wow. Okay, we only have 7 turns left. We're going to win before they do. Here's the victory quest. We will try to win via victory quest at some point. I think that would be a fun way to do it. Maybe with the Alayi. It involves a lot of running around, so they're certainly good at that. I would like to see each of the victory conditions once before the end of the series here. Which is why I'm bummed out that our best hope here looks like one of the 2 victory conditions we've already used, but well. We'll get our diplomatic victory at some point. It feels bad to just be like, I'm playing Draken, so that's what I'm doing, but, you know, that may end up being what it is. The Draken are certainly fine at like actual military play too. Though their units are very, very tough. All right, let's go see if they have perhaps left this undefended, because that would be my hope. There's a lot of undefended ocean regions around. They have one ship of some kind in here. Oh, you know what? I'm not allowed to attack them. Oh, no, I am. I thought, are we at Cold War or are we at truce? So there's a special truce state. Yeah. In 18 turns, you will turn from truce to Cold War. Empires in a state of truce cannot attack each other without breaking the truce and paying an additional cost. Maybe it doesn't apply on the ocean. Piracy is always fine. Oh, no. Okay, there it is. Yeah, all right. It doesn't actually matter. Like, it's not going to help us that much to get this fortress. I just thought I saw an opportunity to steal something, and I'm all about stealing things, apparently. So we can build this Nyctalopian lenses building. Just give us plus 10% science. And it costs like nothing. We'll just purchase that. There you go. That'll speed this up. We're gonna I'm gonna do a bunch of work and end up unlocking plus 100% industry on the turn when we no longer need the bonus. Yeah, I imagine it would be hard to win via victory quest in a game where you control an extremely small portion of the map like this, so this is definitely not the game for trying that particular approach. And green does have a lot of soldiers, though, huh? Well, you know, if it turns out that green is able to actually beat blue and brown together in simultaneous war, then I guess they're going to be pretty happy that I'm here to drag us all to a victory. Yep, black spot on green, no big surprise there. The thing, there's not even really anything for me to buy. Like, wow, that was a big... Did you see the number of blue troops that just got deleted by that battle? Yeah, I think it is going to end up being the case that I am the one who is able to win the game for the three of us. I don't know. It sort of depends on how Blue's science stuff is going. Or wait, was it... Who was the player who hit 3 victory techs? I've already forgotten, apparently. It was blue, right? Not green? Scientific... No, it was green. Okay, so my team loses, actually, if this finishes. For some reason, when we saw that, I don't know, I saw the green text and thought it was blue, I guess. Alright, so actually, despite the very good military work being done by all of my allies, my team is actually just playing spoiler for me. Like, they're trying to keep me safe while I win us the game. I am, in fact, the only hope. Because there's no way they're gonna break green quickly enough, especially with how tough green's units are. There's no way they're gonna break green quickly enough to stop them from being a science threat. Well, you know, I say that, but actually blue did push along the south side of this continent already. They don't have any troops down here, though. I don't know. Actually, it's really hard to tell. It's very hard to tell how this war is going. Green pushed brown back, but now it looks like brown has remassed, and there's still a green army way up here. I basically have just turned into like an esports caster for the war while we just sit and wait for our own victory to trundle along. Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be operating sort of at whatever blue and green's military speed is for the foreseeable future. So I mean, this right here is where it's all happening, right? This is where this war is going to be decided, or at least the next phase of this war Is that the rich silt ending? Ah, that's a shame. Y'all know how I feel about food. We do, in theory, have a single navy that could do something. You know, we could find an amount of science in this ruin. Boy, it is really hard to get you to move. Please, go dive. We could, in theory, find enough science in a ruin for it to just, like, push endless alloys down a turn. I mean, it still wouldn't affect anything. And in fact, we've gained industry effectiveness. They're separated by more turns than they were before. Oh, more burrow. Interesting. So it says when I move out here like this, I'll gain 52. Well, it means we'll gain it as direct income for the city. We're already getting the 50 on this as it is. That said, there's no reason for it not to be here. Yeah, we're already getting the 50 industry on that because of the fact that it's under a fungal bloom, so it is exploited. And while we were looking away, a lot of the green forces seem to have potentially disappeared. Now, if we really wanted to help, another thing we could have done is we could have kept checking the market every turn for spying heroes and tried to just use spies. Like, we could have put a spy in Green's capital or something, like way deep in their empire, built up infiltration points, and then done one of those big morale hits. Because, you know, as we saw last time, -3 morale on all of your units for like 5 or 6 turns can have a very serious effect on your damage output. Alternatively, we could have tried to have like a couple of spies and have them like just in front of Blue's wave, say like in the second line of green cities, build up some points, and then as Blue approaches, we just burn the walls, just destroy all their fortifications. All stuff that is theoretically kind of helpful, but definitely would not be worth spending our human minutes to do. The time to benefit ratio on that is real bad. And you know, like I'm saying, vision and map embargo. Huh. I wonder why. What would cause them to think that they want to start getting aggressive with me? I'm gonna win. You need me. I'm not gonna spitefully turn off the alliance the turn before victory. But I could. And I feel like they should play in such a way as, you know, as suggest that they are aware of that fact. I mean, we don't actually need to move anybody. I'm just gonna... You stand here on defense mode. Sure, grab that, and then move to get that, I guess. No, move to get this. Yeah, weird for Blue to do anything that suggests that we are not the absolute best of friends, though. I'm not even sure if they are thinking about me in sort of an increasingly hostile way as I get closer to victory. I'm not certain what is accomplished by a vision and map embargo. What does that do for them? Okay, still Green has not purchased a truce with anybody, which certainly suggests that they believe they are winning the war, because they could turn off the war at any time. I mean, it's not free to do it, but you have to imagine they must be producing enough influence to be able to force that kind of stuff. And once you've forced a truce, the other player can just declare war on you again. But the cost of declaring war on you will be much higher than normal on account of the fact that there was just a diplomatic relationship change. So if you are producing more influence than the other player, you can just overpower them. Every time they reinitiate the war, you can de-initiate the war. Oh, hey, a quest. Ah, yes, I have 30 population. Hooray! Expansion disapproval, goodbye. At this point, if Blue were to declare war on us, I mean, it would be awfully bad if they're thinking that. I would have a hard time stopping them. I just don't know that it's beneficial to them to do that. I think we're probably fine. So I should be able to actually build another district now that I'm thinking about it. And we probably ought to do that. We certainly don't need the dust for very much else. I'm going to buy myself a coastal battery. Why not some mining rights, you know? We certainly have the cash. And a sewer system. It's the end of the game. We should probably have sewers, I guess. Yeah, it seems like blue and green are both kind of having trouble. Never mind. I was about to say having trouble making any progress here. It might just be that their armies are too tough for each other to kill. But no, blue is pushing. So maybe our team would have in fact put it away without us. But how can you know? How can you be sure? I guess you could do some math on exactly how much, figure out from the number of technologies that we know they have via the scoreboard, exactly what green's tech costs would be, and then do the math from the amount of science they're producing per turn. Although that amount is certainly changing turn by turn. And it's a good thing it is, too. Like, I'm not 100% certain that we would be able to finish the Temple of the Earth's core without green's machine getting busted up a little bit. Probably, given when we saw the notification, but not for certain. Because, as you might imagine, those later high technologies get really, really, really expensive. Sure, you know what? Actual winter immunity. I don't want his army to be cold standing out there. The Titan Bones have run out, unacceptable. The Dust Orchid has also run out, and we don't actually even have the ability to repop it. And I don't think it matters. I think it didn't change the number of turns that we're looking at here, but, you know, here's how I feel about that. And then also all of this stuff. So our city could be a lot tougher. If we had chosen to spend time, you know, maintaining emeralds and like trying to build up more of the defensive technologies and stuff. Like we don't even have the bonus militia, right? But it has not been necessary. Our neighbors have mostly been pretty polite. It is tough though. If you get into a real fight, like a real knockdown drag out war as a single city faction, it can be very difficult if you can't resolve it like decisively, quickly, because the enemy is almost certainly going to have a larger actual industrial base than you do. They'll have no cities that are the match of yours, but over the course of their empire, they will probably be able to just outbuild you for a while. Yeah, okay, green is totally collapsing. I think it's just too much. They're having to move their armies around. They're not able to keep an eye on all of the fronts at the same time, and they're going to get collapsed until the combined force of olive brown and olive blue can be leveled against them at once. Jeez, look at the number of bodies here. I'm actually really curious. What do the military strength numbers say right now? So for reference, we're at about 70k. Is that... Yep, that's 2 million. That's 700,000. That's 600,000. Yeah, so Brown has a military strength of in the neighborhood of 2 million. Shockingly, I'm just going to go ahead and do one of these. What is this? Cold War? Closed borders. Brown doesn't want to win with a team. I guess the AI doesn't really think about winning with a team. Next winter, stockpile price stuff, that's not going to be relevant. In fact, that's a winter effect that I can't imagine being relevant almost ever. There are so few stockpiles available on the market over the course of a game in total. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the button here. Brown decided they did not want to win, and although blue is getting a little bit touchy with me, a little bit saber-rattly, I will, in fact, take them down into the underground, into victory. Probably not all of you, because, you know, you're big and you got wings, but we'll fit who we can. Weird thing to do, though, for Brown to spend resources not to win the game. I guess, like, again, just for AI manipulability reasons, you really have to have the AI not consider shared victory. Well, this is what comes of being spiteful and paranoid, then. Let this serve as a lesson to us all. You can accept the fungus and be drawn into the fungus's warmth, or you can die out here in the cold on your own. And I think, you know, if Brown had gotten to read our faction quest text, I'm sure they would have made a different decision. So we're just waiting for Brown and Blue to finish playing with their cute little army men here. I sure do wish Blue had not turned off my vision, because I would like to see what is actually happening. Oh, the hourglass. I think things are about to resolve. I was gonna go check on our current set of diplomatic modifiers with Brown and see if I could figure out why they chose this moment to break the long alliance. But I think we're about to flip over to the victory screen. And this time we actually get to see it. Probably. There we go. Broken Lords have achieved victory. Shared. It counts. It should put one of them on this screen. Alright. So I did it. I won the game for our team. It is not 100% clear to me how this would have resolved if we had not. Like, if I had been unable to approach some kind of victory. Let's say that Blue remains on my side, and we end up having to fight Brown. I don't know for sure how that ends, honestly. Blue was trying to push along a dust victory, but Brown was actually outdusting them pretty seriously. Wow, actually, 42,000... So this is showing you dust per turn. Unfortunately, on this screen, I don't think you get to see... Yeah, there's no way to see progress on the victory quest stuff. But actually, they were pushing toward a dust victory remarkably quickly. Despite the fact that I was most of the time hanging over 10,000 science, Blue and Brown still left us both in the dust, and Green way, way, way above that. I guess this is the benefit of getting to have more than one city. Feels like cheating to me. Military strength. Yeah, you know what? If Brown was determined to go it on their own, if they were going to turn against me and Blue actually did still need me to win the game for us. All right, I feel good about that then. I feel like we did a thing that was actually definitely 100% necessary. If you couldn't tell, I was feeling not entirely that way as the wars were concluding with me basically sitting on the sidelines. But I do think in the end, I did have to win it myself. And I was Blue's only hope, so let's take that. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time on Monday, I'm not 100% decided who I want to see. Let me know in the comments who you would like to see next. I'm definitely leaning toward Ardent Mages, though, just because I feel like they've had no presence in any of the games we've played so far, and their mechanics are super cool, and I would like to get to play with them. Yeah, so go ahead and put in your own desires down in the comments below, and come back on Monday, and we'll see you then.